you sure you don't want to be drinking tea while we do the video?
We could do that for the next one. Hey! We're here to talk about first impressions. It's off to a great start already. When it comes to first impressions, some people really obsess. Like, it doesn't matter how much they get to know someone else, they will always like be stuck in that first impression. Not for me so much. Like I feel like I don't really like trust people's first impression. I'm always like, yeah, but who are you really?
Yeah, I feel like your first impression, I believe that.
Really?
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't say it's hard for me to like stray from that, but when I first meet you or something, like I already have an idea of what kind of person you're gonna be. So,
man, I like never trust that because I know like there's always so much more going on behind someone's head. So for me, I'm like constantly looking for like, yeah, but what's behind that? And so like I'll keep like watching them and stalking them and whatnot.
interesting.
So in a way, we want to use this video not just to talk about first impressions because really that's all we have to say on the subject, but more so first impressions of us. Ashley Wesley, what are often people's first impression of you?
Pretty much all my life, I've heard that I'm very intimidating. As like, I'm more of like an observer, so I'll just sit back and generally pretty quiet, intimidating, do my thing. What about you? What about you?
I'm just observing. Okay. I feel like with me, there's not really a very like steady first introduction. I think 'cause like, not that my personality changes a lot, I'm not very consistent in my personality or really much things. So like some people have this impression of me of like, Karis is like this super fun, like social gal, like she's like so funny and she just, everyone loves her. But then like there's some people it's like Karis is kind of quiet and she's like kind of intimidating. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I think that's really funny to me. Someone will say something, like Karis is funny, I'll be like that because I am funny. But she's so much fun and she's so like bubbly and I'm like, I can also be pretty dark. And then the people are like, Karis is so dark, like I'm like, I can be pretty funny. Here's the story. I went to this thing called Carry Wow. So when we first went to it, we got paired up into small groups and then small groups. And then there's just one chick who liked making funny jokes. And I'm like, we're friends now. And she's like, cool, I need a friend. And I'm like, there it is. And you know what her name was? Ashley. And so Ashley and I were hanging out. She's like, yeah, my roommate's about to come in soon. And I was like, oh, really? And I went into their room and I saw like these posters of the world. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I relate to this chick. Who's her roommate? And it's Ashley.
You should clarify that my name is Ashley and my roommate's name is Ashley.
They're both Ashley. So I met the other Ashley first, and then I met this Ashley.
Like a clone. She was in the room as well, putting up her stuff. There's like two Ashleys.
Yeah, they're definitely not clones. Yeah, we were playing this game, and this Ashley and I were the first ones dead in this game, and so we sat off to the side and we just started to talk, and we like clicked. We both are going into English majors. We both love the world, specifically the East, and we want to travel a lot. And so from that, we just like, we're like the same but slightly different. My first impression of you, in my head, you were very put together. Yeah, like, at least from the first impression, you just kind of sat there, but like you said, like very calmly, just the way you spoke was very clear, and I liked that. It wasn't hard to have a conversation with you. I was just like, I feel like I can be friends with her. Then we just like slowly started to get like closer.
Yeah.
So my first impression was like, oh, she's very organized. I was thinking like very like your whole room was like super neat, like you were very like put together, and I'm learning that, not that you're dirty,
but that's not the case.
You're much more laid back.
Same story of how we
came
to know each other.
It's different, like, so you're
Ashley's
right, Ashley? Was your clone? Like,
I just saw her 2 years ago at the mall. Yeah, we met, we were both out in the game, and then we just decided like to go sit down, and I just remember thinking like, oh my god, this girl is so neat, and she's like, she's so outgoing and like bubbly and just like this is you. And I was like, oh, this girl is so cool, like I would love to be her friend. And what you don't know is like I texted okay, but I'm a clone. No, I can't the clone. I remember like I had texted you like the day after, like to see like how your day was going. How was your first day classes? Like how is like everything going? And you didn't text me back until like 2 days later. But like during that period, I was like, oh well, I guess we're not gonna be friends. I was like, oh man, that sounds like I thought we clicked. Like I thought we were gonna be good friends, and then I text you never text me back, and I'm like, oh, guess I gotta find
I've gotten
more
so much better
friends.
about that though. Like
You have. You should tell them how many messages that you have.
oh, I can't show you because you are my phone, but it's almost up to 500 now. But it's the group chats. I don't have 500 people wanting to know where I'm at. I'm going for 1,000 though. So
Like fresh out the womb.
yeah, you just popped out and you're like, wow, this is weird.
I was like,
It was cramped in there.
get out. My first impressions of myself. You yeetin'?
So I was the only girl in my family, and you know, blessed. But as a kid, I was very bubbly. In kindergarten, you get like these cute little awards, like, oh, you're the cool. I don't know what other kids got. I didn't care, but like, I got the Happy Heart Award because like all the time I'm just like smiling. But we'd go to like Carl's Jr. and I'd meet this kid. I'm like, guess what? We're friends now, and let's hang out, and I'd never see them again. But like again, on the other side of that, even though I was like this super social butterfly, at the same time, I spent a lot of time by myself. We moved around a lot, and I was very like bubbly and fun, but 7-year-old me just sitting in the car going to grandma's house and is like, I'm gonna die someday. What's it gonna be like? I try to imagine what like nothingness would be like. I thought way too much for a kid my age. So I think my first impression of myself was like, I enjoy being myself, sometimes more than I enjoy hanging out with other people. But that's because I didn't have a lot of close friends either to compare myself to. And I didn't have a phone at a young age. So I think that isolation made me like myself a lot better, but it also like, it's really hard now to have long-term relationships with people. So it's very interesting. But
I think I understood your question wrong.
no, most of my questions don't have like a right kind of outline answer to them. It's just like, what do you perceive this question to be? Answer that question. Ashley, what was your first impression of yourself? Fresh out the womb.
I was a really confident kid.
Really?
Like up until the 5th grade, like I was like super confident. Like I thought I was like LeBron James, like out here like the best. Out of like everything I did, I just thought I was good at it. And I don't really have that anymore. It kind of like went away when I got into middle school. But I used to be just like really confident. And like my parents used to tell these stories about how I used to like just come up with plays and stuff. And like we used to have like a weekly talent show. And I would like make like flyers and like little pamphlets of like and I would put them in like our neighbors' like mailboxes and stuff, like these like pamphlets that I made of like weekly talent show at the Wesley's house. And so I was like super confident as a kid. I would do crazy stuff like that.
I feel like it's still there, but it's like much more subtle as an adult. So like you still have a kind of confidence about it. Like you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Right.
But it's not as like direct as it was when a kid. And I feel like for me too, like I was very like like crazy.
Yeah.
Like and also very like these raw like dark thoughts. But now it's like it's still true. Like people still see both sides of that, but it's not as obvious because we wear masks as adults.
Yeah.
They'd be the same person. Now, audience, off to you. Seeing that weird beach video before, what was like your first impressions of us? What do you think would ever come from this channel? And what would you like to see in the future? You might not get it, but what would you? What do you want?
What do you want? I scared myself.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe if that's your thing. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it anymore. So you're welcome.